enlightenment. Now the fourth, right? Fourth seal of Dharma. What is it? Nirvana. You use that, huh? Nirvana. Oops, enlightenment.
No, you did not say marijuana.
You can say that. Nirvana is not peace, though. Is it? Maybe temporarily. Yes. Right. Nirvana is peace. They're very similar, right? The sounds looks like Nirvana. Yeah. Yep, you're right. So enlightenment. He's trying. Don't try that. Nirvana is... Fourth Dharma seal is Nirvana is peace. Do you know how to the spelling? Yeah?
I didn't write it.
Oh,
You'll have hundreds and thousands of practitioners.
That's good. That's good. Well, Minnesota, it's illegal, right? Still illegal. Don't do it.
Not so good.
Okay, enlightenment is peace, and so this you understand that, right? Enlightenment is peace. The meaning of enlightenment. What is enlightenment? Enlightenment is the realization, right? Enlightenment is completely realizing this true nature of mind. This is, they also say, Buddha mind, Buddha nature, Buddha mind, right? Omniscient mind. Completely realizing this true nature, the omniscient mind. Now, when I say omniscient mind is totally free from disturbing emotions, habitual tendencies, and etc. At the same time, omniscient means there are two types of wisdom developed. Jirta jirnyet in Tibetan, the wisdom knowing chittawa means the nature as it is. So wisdom of knowing the nature as it is. That is Buddha's himself, the point of view. He has this wisdom, the chittawa, the wisdom of knowing nature as it is, right? That's one wisdom. And the second wisdom is very important for us, which is jirnyet, means wisdom of knowing your perception of whatever there is. That's our point of view. Buddha exactly understand what kind of teaching we need, what kind of instruction. He understands that. So these two wisdoms he can use it at the same time. So that's what we call omniscient mind. the first is Chirtawa. The second is Chinhepa, means wisdom, knowing. Chinhepa. How do you say that, Roger? Wisdom.
It's sort of more like conventional, except for Buddha, of course, there are no conventions.
Like Buddha understand that in this audience, for example, like who is ready to listen great perfection, whose mind is ready to ripen, he understand that I don't understand, right? I give same teaching all student but it's not fit all of them. My teaching is not fit all of you because you are different students, right? I mean, different personality, different minds, a different experience. But Buddha can give you that, exactly the teaching that it's. So he understands that that's kind of the wisdom, knowing your perception, right? Your perception, whatever, your perception, whatever there is. Yeah.
Isn't that what the Heart Sutra is all about?
Heart Sutra?
Heart Sutra. The Heart Sutra.
A Heart Sutra.
My statement was.
Yeah, both. Heart Sutra is both. I think both. But most time, yes, they're talking about actually the nature of everything, right? So about emptiness.
What does name mean? Like
Nature?
Nepa.
Yeah.
Nye. What does that mean? I understand the pa is possessing, but what is nye? And the second one, you were talking about the
Oh, nit.
nid. No,
Nyet.
not the first one, the third syllable, not nid, but nepa.
Jinepa.
Jinhepa.
What does nepa mean?
Jinhepa means like all this appearance exists. So he understands everything.
Isn't that translated as the wisdom of suchness? That he
No.
knows?
Mm-mm. That will be Chitawa,
Okay, that's
right? The nature as it is. That's Chitawa. You understand your Buddha nature, your Buddha nature, your nature mind is as it. You understand completely. That is the first wisdom. Second wisdom is my point of view. Like Buddha understood what I need, what kind of teaching instructions I need. He gave me that directly without asking him,
Just the understanding of appearance.
Yeah,
Yeah, can also mean like designation.
designation, yes. Thank you.
Is that when we ask, and when we practice the Nundro, we are asking to spontaneously accomplish the two benefits, the benefit of self and other? Is that what this is referring to?
No,
No?
yeah, you can, but a little bit different.
A little bit different?
This is we're talking about now enlightenment, right? Enlightened being, enlightened like Buddha has these qualities. So when we're talking about enlightenment, we need to talk about the qualities, this nature of mind. So maybe we don't have these two, wisdoms yet, because we're not wake up, completely. But this is the quality, when you attain enlightenment, you will get these qualities. There are many other and conceivable qualities, but these two are very common. And also after enlightenment, there are at least 27 Buddha activities, near them. 27 Buddha activities that are spontaneously manifest. We should think about enlightenment. It's really important, right? Because this kind of qualities we have, but we still not accomplished. So now, this is what I remember. I want to let you know that when we talk about enlightenment, there is a little bit different between Buddhist idea of this enlightenment and your sort of Western enlightenment. They're a little bit different, I think. I mean, in the West, you have an idea that enlightenment is you gaining understanding, right? You can become enlightened about many different topics, right? Different things, different topics. This is for kind of ordinary people, and it's an ordinary kind of enlightenment. From Buddhist teachings, enlightenment is much more sort of profound and much harder to attain. Because when we say enlightenment is totally this realization, the completely realization of nature mind. So because that means you have to diminish all our obscurations and defilements, klesha, nyunmo in Tibet, klesha in Sanskrit, right? So defilement. So the ordinary people perceive the negative emotions just as negative emotions. There's no realization of this true nature or this Buddha mind. So ordinary people see the emotions as disturbing, right? Disturbing. But enlightenment point of view, the nature of these disturbing emotions are inseparable from these two wisdoms, the Buddha mind. Therefore, the whole our expression of suffering, happiness, is just, I said, expression of this enlightenment, ground enlightenment. This is the nature. This is nature, true nature. That's why, again, these four seals of Dharma are talking about true natures. I mean, the truths, I think it's very important, like, impermanence is really truth, the reality. And then the suffering, the result of the negative emotions, suffering is truth. Everything, nothing exists itself is truth. And this Buddha nature is the truth. Good things we possess, we have. Buddha nature, 24 hours. It's truth. Many people believe that the ultimate achievement on the spiritual path comes only after this life is over. Therefore, the best thing we can do in this life is prepare for it. And some people have already sort of lost hope. They feel that they are sort of inherently bad, so don't deserve to achieve enlightenment. That is wrong. Similarly, many Buddhists know intellectually that everyone has the same potential, Buddha nature, same nature as a Buddha, but emotionally they feel that they don't have the ability to attain this enlightenment. All of these are the wrong ideas. That's not true. enlightenment is not a place that you can go after this life is over at all. And enlightenment is actually, again, not for happiness. It is the result of the exhaustion of our klesha, these defilements. Enlightenment is realization of the true and the reality. That's it. That is beyond suffering and happiness. That's why enlightenment is not for happiness. So when you realize this true nature, there's no longer any dangzan clinging to this duality. Therefore, there is a true peace. True peace. That's why they said enlightenment is peace. Because the moment of recognizing the essence of mind is definitely the knowledge that we say, the knowledge that the nature as it is, chittava. So this is the one of the Buddha's wisdom, right? Buddha's wisdom. And it is beyond everything. It is beyond samsara. It is beyond nirvana. It is beyond happiness and suffering. Therefore, we can say nirvana is peace. But this peace is not actually like what we understand. The peacefulness is not like that. But you can say, you can use it, that word. But so Buddha's, this is the last, the fourth seal of Dharma, right? So everything, all the Buddha's teachings and motivation, for this enlightenment, teaching, he teaches Dharma. It's completely, the motivation is, free, people like us who suffer from samsara, not knowing the reality. Buddha said that. Suffer from samsara means we're not knowing the nature of samsara. That's why we are suffering, right? So that's why he gave us the teachings and help, and he makes us like to understand the nature, the reality. So that means Buddha wants us to go beyond, they call great bliss. Deva Chimbo, it's great bliss, He wants us go beyond that. So that's why we can say enlightenment is great bliss. Why it is great bliss? Because there is no confusion, no ignorance, no happiness, no suffering. Then what is great bliss? So in this case, great bliss is not the same as happiness. You have to understand that. Because there is no misconceptions. So usually there are four kinds of misconceptions, right, in our minds. Like, remember, perceiving that which is impure as pure. Perceiving that which is painful is pleasure. Perceiving impermanent things are permanent. And perceiving that which is selfless as having a self. These are, we call it, misconceptions, four misconceptions. When you have enlightenment, there is no misconceptions. There's no this kind of ideas, wrong ideas. You are you are great bliss, and they are great bliss. So there is no misconceptions, right? So therefore there is no happiness. Happiness is like, one misconception. So if you go beyond all of these misconceptions, then you reach to enlightenment. So it's different, right? Your enlightenment and Buddha's enlightenment, different, right? Buddha's enlightenment is much more harder to attain. Bodhisattvas, Buddhas, all of that, this free from all these kind of misconceptions. And it's the nature of non-dual reality, they call non. So that is beyond samsara and nirvana. So beyond samsara and nirvana, what is that? Can we explain? Beyond samsara and nirvana, what is that? Buddha said it would be very difficult to explain because it's beyond the words, There is no words. How can we explain it? But then we have this pointing out instruction, right? When teachers try to explain about it, this kind of enlightenment, they talk about the qualities of nature mind. That's the only way to explain. So do you remember, in this Samandabhada's prayer, there are 5 qualities of nature mind. But, the one is, I remember, it is self-arising wisdom. And it is uncompounded. Because this true nature is never changes under any circumstances or any situation. Because it is free from, again, cause and conditions. It's not compounded thing. It is free from all of these misconceptions. It's free from 3 times. 3 times, very important, right, in our life. This relative world, very important 3 times. If there's no time, nothing happens. But in this kind of enlightenment, there's no times, free from time. 3 times has nothing to do with this nature. Why? Because the times are only concept made by dualistic thinking. Past, present, future, we're thinking. But this nature is beyond times. So therefore, it is inexpressible. It's very difficult to explain because beyond everything, beyond times, beyond object and subject, beyond words, beyond language, it's very difficult. So there is nothing to explain. Only you have to meditate and attain, accomplish. So, the teachers in Buddha, knew that not everyone able to understand this nature right from the beginning. That's why I always say we need good foundations, right, in order to understand this true nature. When you finish all these foundations, then we have so many good technique and method. This is so simple and profound, but we just don't recognize that. Always we're confused. So, it's not everybody can understand and recognize right away. Because some people who have no sort of karmic connection with this nature, they think this is a very kind of strange rule, right? And law, and it is the essence of Buddhism. What is this? It's beyond everything. What is that? You can't, that's impossible, right? This is kind of Buddhist rule. They say that, as people who don't like Buddhism, that's your rules. It's strange rule. If you don't have capacity, then you say that, yeah, you don't have capacity to recognize this nature, then you might see this is strange rule. When the Milarepa, I don't know this is true or not, but I believe it's true. Milarepa appeared in the yak horn. Milarepa is a person, right? And the yak horn is small. There was a very bad storm, and then Milarepa went to yak horn. Yak horn never, it didn't bigger, or Milarepa didn't small, but it's the same size. It's his student of Richongba, he was with him at that time, and Richongba had a sort of capacity to understand emptiness intellectually. Oh, Milarepa in their horn, because, oh yeah, it's possible. It's emptiness, right? He has that kind of understand. He has enough the realization to see that Milarepa in the yak horn. But he couldn't join his teacher, because no capacity. Only intellectual understanding of emptiness. He said, oh, that makes sense, because, right? But can I? No. Experientially? No. So if you don't have that kind of capacity, this kind of nature of enlightenment is kind of very strange rule. But if you have a karmic connection, that's Chantakirti says in the middle way, One is like your students are, when you investigate, they're ready to receive the Dzogchen teachings or not. When you talk about this kind of emptiness in the nature of enlightenment and these qualities, some teachers really sort of interested in and have a sort of strong faith in the devotion. That means they're ready to receive these teachings, and then they will understand. They will recognize. So enlightenment is, you see, it's your realization. We're not talking about something else. We're talking about our Buddha nature. If you are in Buddha nature 24 hours, that means, you see, you have the realization. See, in our Heart Sutra says the enlightenment is like a great mother. It's a great mother because it gives the birth to the Buddhas of 3 times. It's a great mother. Like enlightenment is a part of our true nature. And then this ignorance and emotions are not an inherent part of our true nature. So we don't have to worry about it. The clouds removed, the blue sky is there, right? When our defilements are diminished, our true nature is there. Our true nature is always there, right? The blue sky is always there, but their thick clouds can't see it. The same thing, exactly same thing. That's like we use the language, right? That is Buddha nature. That is Buddha nature. Buddha, Buddha is not a person's name. You understand? Buddha is not a person's name. Buddha is the label for a state of mind. So the word Buddha is defined as one quality with two aspects. Do you understand? In Tibetan, we call Sangji. It's huge. This meaning is just, Sang means like it's awakened one. Awakened one. Ji is accomplished one. So Sang means all you diminished completely all these misconceptions and defilements, everything. That is we call Sang. Means completely open and awakened. Ji means you develop all these wisdoms, right? Two wisdoms, omniscient mind, everything like these qualities. That is like Ji. Grow. So that is the Sangji, means Sangji. Buddha is the, through the Buddha's realizations, see, the Buddha was under Bodhi tree. He realized that nothing compounded can permanently exist. He realized that. He realized that no emotions lead us to the genuine happiness all the way, right? All the time. Second, right? Third is he realized that there is no truly exist self and phenomena to be perceived. That's the third, right? And then finally he realized that enlightenment is peace. You see, these realizations are what we call the Buddha's wisdom. That's what we're talking about. These realizations, Buddha's wisdom. This realization is enlightenment. So Buddha's qualities really inexpressible, indescribable, They just like the sky. They said this like sky, which has no end, is a space. There's no end. And our words and our sort of analytical powers can only go as far as the concept of this universe, So there's no explain, I mean, Chantakar, the Chantakar, this middle way, he when he talked about this, he said, that, he gave a very good examples, that he said, at some point, a bird that flies higher and higher and higher to find the end of the sky will reach its limited, and the bird, have to return to the earth. Like that. It is not because the bird founded the end of the sky, but he cannot fly anymore. There's no energy. You fly. Eventually, you fall down. You have to return to your earth, You can't fly. There's no energy. Likewise, Buddha's qualities like indescribable like that. We try to sort of explain the qualities like many ways, but eventually it is go beyond. That's all. We just can't explain because there's no words, Completely. Which is we are talking about the nature of mind. It's amazing. We have this. You should be very happy all the time, because we possess this. We have this, right? Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. And then, happy because we are rich, very rich. We have this possess. We have these qualities. And we should try to see and develop these wisdoms. So that's the the enlightenment. Enlightenment is beyond because of its peace. So this is the fourth Dharma truth, the truth of Dharma, the seal of Dharma. Now, about these four seals of Dharma. You see, now this is not in detail, right? But these teachings give us great instructions and idea. When we begin to realize these truths, these four seals Dharma, when we see that our possessions and everything are all impermanent, compounded phenomena, then we understand that we really cannot attach and cling to them forever because impermanent. This means that we have to practice satisfaction and let go of our dissatisfaction. If we don't practice that, then we don't see the reality. We don't have this nature, impermanence. We have to practice the satisfaction, That types of kind of this inspiration is called renunciation, right? Renunciation. And when we understand all these emotions are pain, we have to think. First, we have to think why emotions are pain. Once you understand these emotions are pain, maybe you think these emotions are not pain. It's happiness. But if you see it, if you understand, then we see that the clinging to the self is cause of suffering. So when we have no ego, no clinging to the self, then, see, we can generate bodhicitta, right? We can develop our compassion towards others, include ourselves. Because right now we can't, right? We can't generate bodhicitta mind, like relative or ultimate bodhicitta, because of this self-clinging. It's me, I want this, But the second Dharma seal, this seal, really helps to develop, if you understand this, develop your bodhicitta mind. Bodhicitta mind is the foundation of enlightenment. You see, if you have no bodhicitta mind, there's no enlightenment. There's no enlightenment, for sure. That's why I always focus on make sure that you have bodhicitta mind, right? Then you have the foundation. So you see, these four seals include everything that you need for your practice. So when you have clear understanding of these four seals as the ground of your practice, you will feel comfortable no matter what happens to you, very comfortable, because you see the nature, the reality, So whoever practice, these four seals in their mind and contemplate is a Buddhist, right? Is a Buddhist practitioner. So as long as you accept and practice these four truths, four seals, you are practicing Buddhism. So now see, once you have intellectually understand and accepted these views, then you can use any practice that is not contradict these four views. Anything that contradicts these four views, that is not part of the Buddhist enlightenment path, right? That's why this is between distinction between Buddhist, true Buddhist and not true Buddhist, So if you understand these four seals, not only eventually, not only intellectually, but experientially, you begin to free yourself from selfishness, dissatisfaction, and attachment. That's the point. This is freedom. This freedom is what we call the wisdom, right? Wisdom. And then you put this wisdom into your practice and develop more and more. It becomes primordial wisdom, right? And that primordial wisdom is what we call enlightenment. That's it. Then you are reached. You are reached to enlightenment. Then you are done. Then you don't have to practice. You're done. You don't have to practice refuge. You don't, because you become a refuge. You don't have to practice bodhicitta because you become a bodhisattva, Buddhas, right? You don't have to practice vajrasattva because you are not never create negative karmas and nothing, because there's no cause and conditions to create negative karma, negative thoughts, So then you are completely done. Then your job is 27 activities of Buddhas, they call it. And these are effortlessly, spontaneously, you can help others limitlessly. That's why we want to become Buddha, right? Otherwise, become a Buddha is not for happiness. But you can see the purpose of this life is to help others. But now we don't have a capacity to help others. But when you become a Buddha, you have a capacity to help others. That's the motivation. That's the motivation. That's why we always correct our motivation, right? So that's the last teaching of this. The enlightenment is peace. Do you want some meditation? Okay. Um, meditation evenings, like afternoon, evening. Meditation is not so easy, right? Meditation is actually not easy though, but morning is the best. Everything's very fresh. Now it's we have teaching, then you listen, and sometimes you're very tired, right? Are you tired? A little bit? When I was in China, when there is no tired, where is come from tired? When I was in China, and there I went to a temple, and they meditate. Monks come together. I think like 70, 60 monks together, and they sit this, and they meditate. I don't know. Nobody teach them. Just they just sit there and then meditate. Their closed eyes. I don't think they practice dzogchen or something. Then there's another person, monk, has a small little bit like, what do you call it? Stick. And this monk's a little bit fell asleep, and then this person can little bit, bit. They're like morning to evening, very long meditation, right? But evening is a little bit difficult, but you can do it, maybe a short time, okay? This is last, so we should practice Donglin, Donglin first. Donglin first few minutes, and then something else, we'll see. So you relax, try to relax your body and mind. And then take a deep breath. settle your mind, your body for a second. It's really warm here.
74 degrees.
Are we turn on heat?
It's off.
Okay, that's good. Then you send your breath. So now turn your attention to your breath. And when you breathe in, imagine that all the positive energies in this world, universe, enters your body, your mind. When you breathe in, right? When you breathe in, imagine all this positive. So many there are good things in this universe. So enters you with the breath. And then just to relax there. This is kind of different, a little bit different Tonglen practice though. So you breathe in, imagine that all good things and merit and everything play into your body and your mind. And then you just relax. And then you imagine, your mind, your body is kind of great bliss when you relax right there. And then when you breathe out, imagine that you have so many good things, your wisdom, your intelligence, your good practice, the positive energy, you have happiness, all of them. You should send them out for those beings who are suffering and freed them from suffering. And then you should relax right there. I mean, we are here, people are so fortunate, you guys, very happy, nothing wrong, right? Everything's good. Everything's good. But so many beings and humans are very suffering out there. No question. So many are suffering. So we should really send them our happiness and the virtues that we listen the teachings, we meditate together. All this happiness and good things, we should send out those people, those beings are suffering out there. And we can imagine that they are freed, from their suffering. And then we relax. And then we start it again. Few minutes you do that, okay? Few minutes, maybe 3 minutes, maybe 1 minute. So this is kind of combination. You're thinking yourself and others. So I think that's really nice. I do that every morning. It's a little bit different than taking and giving practice. So this means like you receive all the positive and everything, and then it makes you really great bliss, and then you relax, and then you feel how happy you are. How fortunate you are. And then I just said, recognize that and send that to other people who are suffering. And they receive it. And as soon as they receive this, then they freed from their suffering. It's good. Sometimes you watch these animals very suffering, how they kill, how they suffering. You watch, it's very helpful when you practice. Most people did. Oh, I don't want to watch. That also you are kind of this suffering. You are kind of push away, make suffering. I mean, separate from you, right? That's not good idea. You bring this suffering into your mind, and when you meditate, like giving and taking like this, it helps a lot because you see it, right? And you know it, how it was, That's kind of we're talking today, right? You bring all this other suffering, your suffering into your path, and then you meditate on it. It really helps rather than you ignore it, kind of. That's good for today. Are you happy? You said, yes, I am. Are you tired? You say, oh, yes, little bit. Okay, it's fine. Buddha said, when people are tired, don't teach, don't meditate, because then it could be become a non-virtue, Your motivation, oh, this is too long. What he's talking about? I know already this, That's not good, right? So we should stop. And before I stop, I say thank you very much. Thank all you, because you keep me here. This is very good for us, and I feel good, you feel good, everybody's good. And then thank you very much for all you for coming and listen, teaching, practice with us, and sharing your experience and good energies, and very good. Thank you very much. And especially Bodhicitta Sanghas, these board members like Alan, thank you, Martin, Kate, Jeremy, and volunteers, Kelly, Colin, Greg, and all of you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. All of you come here, and I appreciate it. And we have amazing life, we're almost there, almost there. So please keep going, and it's good for you. The Dharma practice and spiritual activity, this kind of thing, is really big part of your life, So keep going, and then we will see who is first. Achieve, get there, right? So thank you very much. Thank you very much. And now dedication. 토리 연든 든든 토버리쇼 찌마터의 추당 타지 서리겐데 버랑와 요버리쇼 대앙라마 담바니시 잔년당 산드 출라 쪼버리쇼 출동내는 향부터 럽데 센드 트버 점소 가르 트버 담비 추릅동시 장 ям반둘라 쫑을 메버리쇼 랍chen 연데 효리 메바에 탐지 함직 산지 토버리쇼. That's the prayer. Thank you very much. Enjoy the rest of your Saturday